And for all you DIYers out there, go buy a torque wrench and a bottle of Loctite. Let's have at it. I have the parts for this brake job. You can watch me do it all at the same time. I'm going to set you up. So I have the rotor on, and as I said, I put a little bit of wheel bearing grease on the rotor hub here because it was already seized at 40,000 miles. You can wire brush your hardware if you want, if it's really rusty, or you could change it. I actually prefer OEM hardware if it's not ruined. Okay, and pay attention to how the hardware works because everyone's a little different. This has like a little fish hook seat for the brake pads. I'm not going to get into it with you. But check all your hardware when you work on this. You will find some aftermarket hardware does not fit very well. Therefore, I don't use it. If OEM is still good, I use it. All right, remember, you're matching your brake pads to make sure that they are exactly made the same way as the ones that we took off. We're matching old to new, okay? Where do you put your squeaker, your squealer? OEM had it like that, which is towards the rear of the car. It really doesn't make much of a difference in my opinion. If it's touching the rotor, it's going to make some noise. I don't want to mess with the wire brush on these because it has this weird fish hook hardware. So we're just going to have at it a dab of some type of lubricant. Usually the brake pads come supplied with it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You do it any way that you want. It's your brake job. This is the way that I do it. All right, so we're going to lubricate the contact areas of the brake pad as the caliper bracket shows how it contacts the hardware. And these ones, I can't stand how they do all these new hardware things, but I'm going to explain what that is. What that's designed to do is help pull the brake pad off after it's released. Leave that. And then the ones that have the wire clips, it's like a sprung piece of steel, and they help release the brake pad off the rotor faster. It helps the vehicle not have that delay in the hydraulic system pulling back just a little bit. Helps push them back just a little bit. So they have a purpose and they are important. If the car has it, put them back on. And don't reuse those wire formed bracket pieces. Let me show you what they look like. These are for the back brakes on the job that I'm doing. Don't reuse these. The aftermarket ones usually fit crappy, but they do work. And this vehicle is low, so if the new brake pad hardware doesn't fit right, I will use this because I'm a pro and I can tell the difference between good and bad. You may not be able to. I'm going to advise you to replace everything that you possibly can. Next is matching the outer brake pad. Okay, see how the imprint of the caliper and the squeaker, we're going to put it right back exactly the way it was. And then we're going to grease the contacts, the contact zones. And I'm loading the caliper now because this hardware is a stupid design. This, like I said, because of the hardware design, I am not wire brushing this stupid hardware. And if anybody knows, I know. Aftermarket hardware doesn't fit that red Loctite. And I did tell you guys to go buy yourself a torque wrench, right? And learn how to use a torque wrench. So now after you go and spend, I don't know, $4,000 to go do a brake job, you can go in business for yourself to start doing brake jobs. Loctite, thread locker, needs heat to cure. Needs a little bit of temperature. I think it's 500 degrees for this to cure, just so everyone knows. You're not just going to put that on there and it's going to work. It's heat activated. For a little trivia, so if the slider pins have liberal amounts of grease from the factory, we need to do nothing else other than slide it in. All right? And then we're going to gently set this down. Make sure your slider's moved. Notice I'm not tightening anything up yet. I'm going to save that for the last. And Loctite. Loctite, blue or red. This had red. I'm doing red for the video. All right, and then next is going to be the tool, the caliper torques or rotor torque style bolt pin thingy. You ready? This is a 3/8 snap-on long ratchet, and I'm going to tell you why I have that. All right, torque to spec. I can't turn this because I'm doing the driver's side brakes at the same time as I'm doing the driver's side rear brakes, because I'm using jack stands for this job, and I won't have tires till tomorrow. So the next part of what we're going to do is we're going to tighten the caliper bracket up first. Torque. For all you crazy maniacs out there, and I'm sure they're out there, just going to comment, you can spend all day chasing threads too. We're not doing that. So at first you would think that that's tight. It's hitting old Loctite in the caliper bracket. If you can't get those bolts loose, you need to heat them up a little bit. Torque. All right. That was brutal. 1/2" drive or 3/8 drive. I'm going to recommend for the big bolts for you guys, you need to get a 1/2" drive. Longy. Click, click. And, ooh, you want to hurt these on. Did it break? That's the snap-on ratchet wearing out. Ooh, better go get something a little better. Hold on. Presto, I swapped it for a snap-on flex. Another few $100s in a ratchet. Alright, so you want to make sure that they're hurt on there. That baby's hurt. Next is tighten the caliper bolt. I only undo one. Torque to spec. Same way. Like I said, I advise you to go get a torque wrench and look up all the torque specs. I've been doing this for 3 decades. I don't need a torque wrench. This brake job will be perfectly fine. What I probably will do is use a torque stick for these wheels and tires. Certain vehicles that are, there is a torque spec for everything. Should you torque your wheels and tires on? Yes. Only if you know what you're doing. I don't recommend anyone just to go at it and think they got it right. Like I said, I've seen so many people doing things wrong in my shop and document it every day that good luck on trying to save money and do it yourself. Typically it winds up costing you more in the end. But with a little bit of knowledge from YouTube, and you don't have any tools, a new tool investment, I mean, I have thousands of dollars worth of tools out here already. $500 jump box, $400, $500 power probe, socket sets, hammers, ratchets, brake tools. The one cordless gun is $1,000, $400, $1,000, thousands of dollars to do this job in tools. Thousands of dollars. All right, everyone, I hope that this helps. I'm going to do the same procedure in the back, maybe in a separate video. Thanks for watching.